Ambrose, MP, Edmonton, Spruce Grove.
Thank you so much. It is an absolute thrill to be here. I can't tell you how excited I am. I have known Susanne Cocco for 30 years. Actually, her and I were talking earlier today, and I said, well, I think I've known you for 20 years. And she said, you know what? It's 30. I said, oh my God. So wearing this button is so much fun for me, and it's so much fun for me to be here tonight to bring a couple of words to you about why you should support Susanne Cocco. First of all, thank you for having me here with you today. Thank you for organizing this beautiful event and all of you taking your time out of your day. I'm here with JP, my family, McKenna and Garrison, and they're also wearing Susanne Cocco buttons. We're really excited. We just came up from Edmonton, or down from Edmonton, I should say, and we're on our way for a horseback riding trip in the mountains. So they're going to be excited to tell you all about that. I know it's unusual for a cabinet minister to get involved in a nomination. It doesn't happen very often, but we have an unusual candidate here that's running for a nomination. First of all, I've known her for 30 years, but for any of you who have had a chance to get to know her, you know what I mean. It's not often that somebody like this comes along who has the intelligence and the determination. I heard someone say that today. The determination of this young woman is amazing. The determination, the integrity, the intelligence, the poise. She really is a remarkable person. I'm going to say a little bit more about Susanne in a few minutes. But I wanted to just say a few words of why it's important for all of us to not only support Susanne, but to remember how important it is to get out there and get ready for 2015 in the next election. You know, I've had the privilege of sitting in cabinet with Prime Minister Harper now for a little over 8 years and getting to know him as a person and getting to know his lovely wife Lorraine, who, as a matter of fact, we just came back last week from a hike with, a 50-kilometer hike in the mountains. And I have to say, I'm sure she's the only First Lady that can pack a 50-pound pack on her back, take you into the woods with no help from anyone, start a fire, and cook food for 12 people. I can tell you we are in good hands with Lorraine Harper as our First Lady. We are really a remarkable person, but we're also in good hands with Prime Minister Harper for a number of reasons. First of all, I've had a chance to get to know him as a person. And there's no one I work with that has more integrity, and no one I work with that works as hard as he does. And he expects the same from all of us, and the same from all of us on his team. And he gets that. We have an incredible team around us. And, you know, it has been a long 8 years. It's been 10 years. And I've had a chance to sit with him and watch him as a person. And I'm sure there's people that change with as they gather influence, as they gather power. But this man has remained unchanged. He is, and anyone in this room who knows him knows what I mean. He is a regular person. A guy who loves to go to a football game, loves to go to a hockey game, and of course he always pays for his own ticket. He loves to be around just regular people, take his kids to their volleyball game and sit and listen to what parents talk about, what other parents like him and Lorraine talk about. And when he does that, he hears from them about what they want their country to be like. And that's the kind of things that all of us do as MPs, and bring that back to Ottawa, and we talk about that. And it's just so incredibly fulfilling to sit at the cabinet table with somebody who's actually running the country, that talks to regular people and sounds like a regular person. He really truly is. He is a person full of integrity and full of common sense. And you know, when you look at where he's brought this country, it really is amazing. I mean, look at the world. It is an uncertain place. It truly is, from a security point of view, whether it's Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria. And he isn't just a statesman on the world stage, he is now the statesman on the world stage. Whether it's Ukraine and Russia, the rest of the world looks to Prime Minister Harper for where we should go next. And he is leading. He truly is leading. And his leadership on the economy, need I say more? He's amazing. I mean, amazing the accomplishments that he has achieved in a very short period of time. With the signing of the Canada-European Free Trade Agreement, Canadian businesses will have access to more markets than any country in the world. We have literally signed dozens of trade agreements. And this wasn't by accident. When we first came to power, the Prime Minister said, look, this multilateral trade stuff, it's not working. I mean, he's a sharp policy mind. He's strategic. He said, let's get out there. Let's work country to country. Let's go bilateral. And let's really make an effort. And look at what he has achieved. The opportunity for our businesses now with the opening up of these markets is just, it is amazing. He has done an incredible job here at home, of course. We all care about opening up more markets, but let's think about what he's done here at home. He has cut taxes. I mean, we now have the lowest taxes in 50 years. 50 years, we've balanced the budget after coming through a very difficult time, a recession, a huge stimulus package. You look at other countries, look at the European Union, look at South America, Central America, look at the United States. I mean, unbelievable the leadership, and he was so steadfast in keeping our plan on track. And we did exactly that, and we did it without cutting any frontline essential services. No, we actually doubled healthcare spending. It's over 50% increase. The provinces and territories are not going without any of their transfers. In fact, their transfers have gone up. What have we done? We've actually cut backroom office bureaucracy, which, let's face it, there's probably more that we can cut. And you know who's going to talk to you about that is Susanne, because she knows exactly how to do that with the past work that she did. But truly, when you look at what he has accomplished on the economy, we are now the strongest economy in the G7. Forbes magazine says this is the best place in the world to do business, the best place to invest in the world. And now let's talk about what's at stake in 2015. Let's talk about a guy named Justin Trudeau, who's not quite substance, but maybe some style. This is a guy whose only economic platform is to legalize marijuana. And I can tell you as the health minister, that is not a good idea, particularly for the young people of this country. But that is the only economic platform that he has put out there to date. And of course, as you may have heard, the budget will balance itself. That's what Trudeau said not too long ago when we asked him, how would you balance the budget? He said, well, the budget will balance itself. So this is what the choice that we have coming up in the next election. And, you know, I want to talk to you about not only why it's important to think about getting out there and supporting Stephen Harper, making sure our economy stays on track, making sure Canada continues to be respected on the world stage, not just from a statesman point of view, but also from a trade point of view. We want to continue that momentum. We want to continue to have Canada respected on the world stage. But we also have a real choice to make in the next election between, this is, for the first time in a long time, I think what will be a very stark decision between very, very liberal values and very conservative values. And I think that it's going to become a more and more stark decision closer and closer to the election. And it's not going to be an easy one. We're going to have to get out there and work very hard. We want to keep in office someone like Prime Minister Harper that has integrity, that is there for the right reasons. I know day in and day out when I work with him that he is there because he has the best interests of regular Canadians at heart. And I truly know that, and I truly believe that, which is why I can go to work every day, and so can the rest of my colleagues. And it's another reason why when you think about who you want to represent you, you need to think about somebody who is getting up day in, day out for your interests, who's passionate, who has integrity, who's going to fight the fight, who has determination. And I think that Susanne is that person. I truly believe that. I know how hard it is to jump into this kind of a race. It's not easy. And I know I've known Susanne for 30 years, so I can tell you all kinds of great stories about her.
Not the bad ones.
No, none of the bad ones. There are no bad ones. They were all great. But she is a person who not only is educated, top of her class at Queen's University in her MPA, she worked for a large organization like PricewaterhouseCoopers, rose very quickly. She started her own business. She's a self-made business person. She knows exactly what it takes to do that. She knows what it's like to live within her own means, to buy her first house, and to struggle with the mortgage and start your own business. She knows exactly what that's like, and she knows what it's like to come out west and start new and to contribute to her community. She's volunteering here in the last couple of years in Calgary, in a couple of different organizations, including the Immigrant Society in Calgary. She truly is not only a great friend, but I can't tell you how excited I am that she's running to be part of this party. I know that she represents the conservative values that we need in this party. And so without further ado, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me say a few words about Susanne. I really want to ask all of you as Conservatives to get out there, work hard in this nomination so that we can get somebody nominated and then start working on the election towards 2015. We need everybody's effort. We need every volunteer. We need membership sold. We need money raised. And every single seat will count. We can't take any of our seats for granted across this country. And we want to see Susanne de Cocco, Member of Parliament. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my friend Susanne to say a few words to you.
It's funny, generally speaking, I don't need a microphone. I'm pretty loud, as some of you may have heard me speaking earlier.
Give me a second.
All right.
Sorry.
I do need the light.
Yeah, I know. Everybody seems to like those lights.
Back into the spotlight.
Go for it.
First of all, I just wanted to thank Rona. I met Rona a long time ago, and she was always a force of nature, and she still is. And I'm very, very proud of her, and I'm blessed that she is one of my very good friends, so thank you. Funny, I've seen a lot of familiar faces as I look around the room, and I was speaking with Norman and Kathy earlier, and I said, wow, our relationship started over the phone. And so for so many of you tonight, our relationship truly started over the phone or at the door. And for all of the newcomers here tonight, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to earn your vote in this nomination. I very much appreciate it. The nomination really is the most important part of our democracy. This is the grassroots. And for Calgary Confederation, it's extremely important. Rona spoke about Justin Trudeau earlier, and we know that the Liberals have their sights set on this riding. My goal is to make sure it stays blue. And so, how is it that I'm planning on doing that? Well, it's by re-engaging and re-energizing Conservatives. From Sarcee to the Deerfoot, from Memorial to John Laurie, and getting them actively involved and excited to be Conservatives. It's also by focusing on the issues that matter to you and conservative principles and conservative values. And you've told me what they are. I hear about this every day at the door. Fiscally responsible government and making sure that we don't leave our children and our grandchildren with a boatload of debt. And for me personally, that's 4 godchildren, a niece and a nephew. Promoting our natural resources and understanding that this is the heartbeat of our economy, but that it can be done in sustainable ways. And we need to do a better job of talking about our records, of talking about the environmental standards that we do have, and looking forward to the future. I've heard a lot from parents and whose children are in post-secondary education and from students themselves. This riding has 3 post-secondary education institutions in it. And they are really concerned about the amount of debt that they're going to end up with when they graduate and how they're going to pay it back and getting jobs. I've also heard a lot from people around lean, efficient government, and lots of people talk about it and lots of politicians talk about it, but I've done it. I've spent my entire career working with over a dozen federal government departments to try and reduce costs and ultimately save money for you, us, the taxpayers. And lastly, at almost every door I go to, I hear about ethics and accountability. It's been an interesting couple of months here in Alberta and at all levels of government. And so my commitment is to lead with principles and to ensure that you know exactly how we're spending taxpayer dollars. I was talking to someone earlier about what they would like out of their MP, and really talking about ensuring that someone will listen. So my commitment is to be accessible. My commitment is to listen to the issues that matter to you and to bring them to Ottawa on your behalf. We might not always agree. I'm not going to promise you we're always going to agree. But we will always have an honest conversation. In 2015, there are 3 new ridings here in Calgary. And I really feel like it's time for some fresh faces with new ideas. And at the end of the day, this nomination is really about making sure that this riding stays part of a strong, stable, national, majority conservative government. And I truly believe that I'm the candidate to do that for Calgary Confederation. So thank you so much for coming. Please stay for, there's lots of food. I'm Italian, there's always lots of food. But please do stay. I haven't had a chance to talk to each of you, and I just want to turn it back over to Robin. Thank you so much.